fellow exiles, hear my word, for I bring you the truth. With the gods as my witness, I declare this skill is still relevant, god damn it! That's right, Viper Strike is still a great skill. All you need is to shove that sucker into a Binos and you're on your way to destroying all the hordes, from humans to demons to the gods themselves. And if you're brave enough, you may even take on the beings from beyond. Truth be told, it's a good skill, but it could use some tweak. It's got a lot of unnecessary stats considering what is available for poison to work, and if it could shuffle around a few of the stats, free up some percentiles, it would be quite a bit better. It does suffer from the fact that it is a single target name lock skill and scales off of your attack damage, but also you can pick up an added chaos damage, so it's not exactly based off of that, and you kind of just make it work as best as you can. Points where the extra base damage of the skill does come in handy would be when clearing out your breaches. Having it spread through everything constantly without needing to go back and tap the mobs again really helps make it a smoother experience. Same with clearing out an entire room of mobs. If it's a scary room with a bunch of spark mages, that is one of the types of damage that has killed me the most with this character. And you just hit something in there, walk away, and the entire pack is dead. You might have a rare necromancer resurrecting stuff, but once the main horde of the room is destroyed, you're pretty much safe to go. There is some lacking damage due to the ramp up effect of the skill, and again, this is where it is one of the weaker skills just based on how its mechanics are. And anything timed, especially Alva's Temple Trials, it's really difficult to clear out the whole thing within the correct time frame, especially earlier on when you're mapping and you're still leveling up your Chaos Gem. And this is really unfortunate, and I feel like if they could swap out either the base damage, reduce the overall damage to 3 seconds, it would balance out the skill and make it a whole lot better. And that is basically the summary of everything. It can get some really high damage stacked up on a monster in a short amount of time, with its duration up to 10 or even 13 seconds depending on how you build your character. In 4 seconds of hitting a monster, you can have over 5 million damage worth of poisons on an elder boss, and that is actually quite incredible and quite impressive. It really plays with the hit and run playstyle quite well, and the Trickster's newer ascendancies really fit with that kind of playstyle. You go in, you tap something, and you run back out. Unfortunately, for the poison procs to actually work, you're going to end up having to use binos if you're going Trickster, and this would down your overall damage by probably about 60-70%. With the Synthesis League, you can get a really good base crafting dagger. Just get a Fractured Crit Chance mod and roll a couple of the Delve modifiers onto it, and you can end up with quite a beastly poison dagger off of just that. It'll run you about an Exalt, probably. I haven't finished mine, but based on what I've seen, the chances of getting it all, it's about 1 in probably about 30 chance to do it, and the most expensive Delph fossil that you want is a Shuddering at about 5 to 7 chaos. If you're actually focusing on just this one build and working your currency up, it's quite affordable, especially with the fact that you don't need anything crazy for it to work. Just having added chaos leveling up will be enough for it to actually continue to scale. So I'm still using a binos in tier 8s and tier 9s until I finish off with crafting this weapon, and now I run into the question of whether it's worth building trickster, or whether you should actually opt for a pathfinder instead. And the reason I bring this up is because of how satisfying the poison procs are, having it spread through an entire pack. And currently there's only two ways of doing this. Either you're a pathfinder or you have a binos, and binos is going to fizzle out quite drastically in the end game compared to the crafted weapon that I'm going for. At that point, I'm going to have to ask myself, is it worth not having to do anything for 5 seconds as all of the mobs just die around me? Honestly, really great for some of the delve events. Or do I just need more damage, and should I actually put myself into these monsters and go pack by pack, killing them instead of hitting them, moving to the end of the pack, going to the next, or without actually having to touch half of the screen, and then just continuing on. That's something I'll have to play around with, but definitely consider the Pathfinder as an option, mostly because of how much smoother the leveling process probably will be due to having Corralitos 100% on after level 30. This brings me to the point of why I wouldn't recommend leveling with this character in this fashion. It's because you're scaling two in-game mechanics at the same time. Dagger crit chance and damage over time. Damage over time just feels like complete trash until you have about 500% damage, and crit chance, same thing until you have about 40 to 50% crit chance and enough accuracy to back it up. Pathfinder kind of gets around that with having Corralitos and the double crit chance, and then having an innate chance to spread the poison. So you can use pretty much any base weapon and be good based off of that. So that's what I've got so far. I'm still trying to fill out my atlas, but I can see it working quite well versus elder fights and other boss fights, and if you want to play with Viper Strike, it's not as bad as they say. It just takes a bit of time to actually get it to work just right, and understanding that you're not having to stand there for 5 seconds hitting it, you just have to go for 3 or 4 seconds and you can fuck off to do whatever you want. Anyways, hope you liked it. Links in the description. Have a great day. Farron's out.